Last time, our panel of experts broke down the financial decisions Kate and Tony are facing as they head towards retirement. Now we explore why changing the way they think and talk about wealth could be so crucial to their family's future.
Baby boomers have actually made a lot of money and they're going to pass it forward. And research is actually demonstrating the value of that is $3.5 trillion. But what other research is also showing is that 70% of the intergenerational transfers will actually fail.
Hello and welcome back to Secrets of the Money Masters, where we're helping real Australians solve their money challenges. And today we're talking about Kate and Tony, a couple in their mid-50s who've done pretty well out of property. But now they realise to get to the next level and to get to a retirement that they enjoy, they need some help. So joining me to do that, I have Rod Dickinson from Altus Financial, our expert financial planner, and my expert in investing, Ashley Lynn from Orbis Investments. Thank you both for joining me and helping Kate and Tony, who are a very likeable couple, and we all want to help. But you know, you picked up when you watched their story. Tony is a confessed tightwad, and Kate likes to spend. Rod, you must see this every day in client relationships, right? You become a marriage counsellor. How does this work?
That's absolutely what we do sometimes. And I think really it's just trying to get them to articulate some goals that they're smart goals. So, you know, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're realistic, and there's a time frame around them. So, you know, getting that from both of them and being able to allow them to make those calls makes the job a little bit easier. And then you deal with those different personalities to come up with the right answers.
Yeah, and I mean, you made the point before when we were talking, Ashley, that in a way advisors have a harder job, right? Like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, in order to get long-term wealth creation, you have to be willing to sit through some ups and downs. You know, that's how the market works, right? The problem is that clients often buy and sell at exactly the wrong time.
Yeah.
So what you want to try and do is buy something when it's cheap. And it's such an important job that you do, where you're helping people understand that, look, right at the bottom is when you want to be keeping your money in, maybe even adding money to it, because that's how you get that long-term value creation. And so if clients are pulling their money out right at the bottom, they're not going to get the value that we can provide to them. So absolutely, I think your job is more important than ours.
Well, I think
it's more client-faced, both important.
Yeah, I think we've got to think a little bit like Orbis. We've got to be contrarian. We've got to be educating clients to be brave when everybody else is being scared. You know, and if you can do that, you can actually work through those humps and bumps a lot easier with a lot more informed decision making.
Well, you heard Tony say he's got an SMSF. The properties aren't in it. He doesn't really know. I mean, he's self-employed, so that's kind of why he felt he had it, but he didn't know much about it. What would you do with a client like Kate and Tony, who, when you hear that and you know they've got 4 properties?
Look, I think education on liquidity is a huge thing. You know, so particularly as you're moving into retirement, specifically when it relates to self-managed super funds, there's a lot of responsibility that you take on in that role, and it's costly. So again, that education thing to make sure you're in there for the right reasons, not for this perceived control, if you like.
Orbis is all about intergenerational wealth, and you just had your amazing founder, Alan Gray, pass away, actually, which I was very sad to hear about. A fantastic man and mind, actually, the way he thought about money and intergenerational wealth creation. I mean, Kate and Tony want to leave their kids something. Kate's dream is to leave them all a house because that's what she understands, and she thinks you'll be okay if you've got a house. How could we help Kate understand that she could leave her kids something that could be even more valuable?
Yeah. I mean, and just to speak for a moment about Alan Gray, our founder, he's an incredible inspirational man, and what he taught us from the beginning was that this entire job and industry should be about the clients and about enhancing their freedom to make choices that they want to make. And I think that same philosophy actually plays when you're thinking about your own family, when you're thinking about your children and what choices are they going to have in life. And I really do think, I think both Kate and Tony, they talked a lot about freedom and about choice. And I think that really does kind of draw out that same line of why you would want to think about your long-term plan and how you're going to help your children be able to have those choices as well.
Yeah, well, if 70% of wealth transfers intergenerational fail in Australia, meaning that the money's blown, there's the biggest wealth transfer in history happening when baby boomers hand over to Generation X. Wow, we're all going to blow it on big screen TVs, but there's a lot to be done for education of people to go, okay, how am I going to pass this on? Whether you have the wealth and the thinking of an Alan Gray or Kate and Tony with 2 kids or 4 kids really that they want to provide for. Rod, what's the process for family communication and for advisors to make sure that this legacy can be left?
Yeah, look, I think solid estate planning is certainly a sensible option to make sure your wills do what they need to do. But we're really big on making sure that when the children are of an age where they can understand, that they're involved in the discussions.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Kate did say, that she had been teaching her children from a very young age about the importance of saving. So I really do think that philosophy is there with her, and probably with both of them, that they want their children to have this legacy of understanding investing.
And look, and there's a big difference. In Australia, we've got an amazing savings system because we've got compulsory super, but there's a big difference between teaching your kids to save money in the bank and teaching your kids to be investors. We need to unlock the secret for everyone, and I believe that advisors are the way to do it.
Look, advisors and the superannuation system, it is a really good way to get people to understand, because you can use their super funds as soon as they start working as a methodology to understand, here's savings, it's being invested in a responsible way, and here's how this can work, and here's how volatility and movements in markets can have an impact on a portfolio.
Okay, final question for you both. Kate and Tony want certainty. They want a minimum of 10 grand a month, and I think they probably will want more than that. I think holidays and that might cost some more in this day and age, but how do we give them certainty? Ashley, from an investment perspective, there's no guarantees, I get it, but how do they start to build a plan where they go, yeah, I can see that asset I bought will yield that over 15 years?
If you want to talk about getting as close as you can to certainty around a plan, is to really take that long-term view. It's about getting that good advice and being willing to buy into things when they're not the shiny new thing of value, that you get that long-term, I won't say certainty, but at least more safety.
Okay, well, Kate and Tony, it sounds like look at their SMSF, look at their investment plan, diversify away from so much property, get some liquidity.
Yeah.
There's some good solutions here for them, particularly with the help of a trusty advisor.
Absolutely.
So thank you both for joining me to help solve their financial challenges today.
Thank you so much for having us.
And that's all we have for this episode of The Secrets of the Money Masters.
Want to help your clients learn how to change their thinking around money? Download our ebook, Living for Today Without Costing Tomorrow. Coming up next, see how Kate and Tony have fared during the COVID-19 pandemic and watch our experts weigh in.